Okay, so here's where the quiver really starts to take off now. I have 5 skis, and some of them, at least like these two, maybe a little bit on the redundant side, but they were both bought a few years apart from each other and for kind of different reasons. These other ones kind of span the gambit right here. But if you remember my last ski video, I had a lot of woven skis. I had 2 woven skis, and both of those wore out super fast. So I kind of went for a bit more of a durable option while still keeping things more on the lightweight side. This is ultimately kind of where I've wound up with my skis. I'm, again, no ski sponsor, but a lot of these skis, these 3 skis were bought from Tahoe Sports Hub. If you live in the Tahoe area, check them out. And they have such a huge ski selection, so you can like check out stuff. But also upstairs, they'll have their last year's models. The last year may start at 40%. 2 years ago, it may go all the way back to 50%. And so I actually took advantage of all of that to get these 3 skis. For example, like the Dynafits here, these are the free line, which aren't made anymore. They replaced them with the T-Guard or Tie-Guard line to go with the boots. These were skis they originally made to go with their Hoji free system. And I really liked the free line, and they were at the store, and I got them for quite a bit cheaper and then saved money on shipping and stuff like that. That's kind of like the running theme with a lot of these skis right here is I didn't pay full price for any of these, actually. And it really helps out, really, because a lot of times the companies, they just update the graphics, like the top sheets right here, whereas the actual construction of the ski is the same. So you can save a lot of money by buying last year's skis versus the next year's skis and get almost the same product unless they've changed some sort of construction or whatever. I'm also going to pull out my boots. And for ski touring, I have 3 different boots that I'll switch between. So overall, that makes about 4 different pairs of ski boots I wear throughout the winter for different things. I could even go back to the inbound boot I have and put it into a few of these skis if I so choose. So this is a Black Diamond Helio 88. This ski is going on 4 or 5 years old. It gets used maybe 3 to 5 times a year, but when it gets used, it gets really badly used. A few years ago, the only time I used this ski was during the Sierra High route, which was a 6-day ski traverse. And so it got one use, essentially, but that one use was very abusive on it. And that's the thing with these like ski mountaineering type skis is they will get used and abused a lot more and a lot more quickly than something like a powder ski. Whereas if you're only skiing powder, you maybe hit a rock or something, but whereas these things are walking on rocks to get from one side to the other. This is also the lightest ski that I own. This is like in that 1,300 gram range. I had a different binding on this a while ago, and then I remounted it with this ATK Revolution World Cup. And I come to kind of find that this isn't really the best binding for this ski. So what I'd like to do is take, I do have a different pair of Dynafit super light 150s in my cupboard over there. So I'll probably get these things remounted, and I'll probably just have to throw away this binding because it has a lot of metal chewed out of it from me walking with it. If you flip it up like this on the heel risers and walk with it, it'll last a lot longer. But what I did is I twisted the binding in order to get a flat mode. And I think the flat mode is really useful in ski mountaineering. And the bindings didn't like that much, so there's a lot of metal that got hollowed out with a little metal clip in my boot. That being said, the binding is kind of, I don't think anyone's going to mount it now. These skis have one more mount on them. I'm pretty sure I can get one more mount, so I'm going to stick a binding on there that I can adjust and has maybe more options for a flat mode and a heel riser. And then the boot that I ski with this ski, purely ski with this ski, is my lightest one. This is a Dynafit Blacklight boot, and I have a few other mods with this one. But yeah, it makes sense. Lightest ski, lightest boot. That boot's around like 1,000 grams or so. The ski is around 1,300 grams. I think it's a really good pairing and good combo, and it really drives the ski well. In some cases, it actually overdrives this ski, believe it or not. So It's a really good pairing, really good combo, and it's great for big days. So if I'm doing something like skiing Shasta in a day, Mount Whitney in a day, any volcano in a day, or maybe really big long ski traverses like that Sierra High route, I go for this ski. It's the most lightweight thing. Now there are times when I'm ski mountaineering and I want a bit more options with my setup. And that's why I have this one now. I bought this ski last spring, or last winter, I should say. So it's still doing pretty good. Since it was used for ski mountaineering, of course, that means that it already shows a bit more wear than a ski that, wouldn't be used for that. And this one I slapped on a Dynafit 7 Summits Plus binding. This is my new favorite binding. I'll have a different video talking about what I really like about this thing. It's a slightly heavier binding. This one on the Helio is about 150 grams. This one's more in that 320, 380 type gram. So it's a bit of a heavier binding, but it has good features like heel risers. Having brakes is actually really useful if you're doing something like building anchors with your skis and stuff. And then by having a Helio 95, I still get a really good, well-constructed, lightweight ski, but I get a little bit more width underfoot, which feels a bit nicer in circumstances. And I also have it a bit longer. So this one's in the 170 version. This one's in the 176. And so it just gives me a little bit more edge when you're skiing through no-fall zones and stuff like that. Skiing on ice, you got to deal with a lot of that in ski mountaineering. You're not going for like good skiing, you're going for like objectives. So just having a bit more options and a bit more burly setup has been really nice. And both these skis ski about the same, and they feel really good under your foot, and I think it's great. Black Diamond switched to Blizzard to manufacture their skis, and I think that was a great move because now they actually make some really good skis. And the boots that I use with my 95 most commonly are the Dynafit Blacklight again. It's still, even though it's moving up to about 1,400 grams, so it's another 100 grams more than this ski, this boot really takes that full extra weight into effect. And I feel like I'm never held back by this setup with this boot. It does take a little bit of getting used to, so you have to spend time in the backcountry with a boot like this on a ski like that. But once you do get used to it, it feels really good, and it's nice and lightweight, great for mountaineering. You can pretty much ski through anything. Now, the great part about the adjustable heel is sometimes I bump the boot up to this. This is the Dynafit Carbon Ridge. Ridge Pro. There we go. This is the Dynafit Ridge Pro. And this is about 1,200 grams for a 1,400 gram ski. That's a really good combo. And I can easily drive this boot with that ski in any sort of weird conditions. My last ski trip last year was on Shasta, and we had to ski through a bunch of like fluted, icy rime type snow. I'm not really sure what to call it, but it was definitely very demanding on your legs and stuff. And I just happened to I had this boot with me with that ski, and I was able to chop through it and still ski with style down the mountain. This boot is also really great because I would use it for colder climbs. So if I am doing something like skiing a 6,000 meter peak or something like that, it adds in enough heft so that way I can push a ski through anything. But it's not super heavy. It's at that 1,200 gram range. I can still clip crampons to it and ice climb with it. And it's a bit more roomy too, so there's a bit more material to keep my foot warm. The ability to add this boot into this ski is a really good combo for any sort of expedition ski type stuff. So those are essentially my two ski mountaineering skis, which I use for anything with ropes. You can essentially say if we're using ropes in the mountains, I'm probably going to be on those two skis with a lightweight type boot. And that'll be essentially what I use the entire time. Moving into these three skis, these are more of like standard winter type skis, so just using throughout the winter. And I'm actually going to skip this green one. Let's go to this orange one here. This is the Dynafit Free 107, and it's in a 181 length. And so I found this at Tahoe Sports Hub for like $350. and I just wore out my woven ski, so now I was in the market for a new ski. This thing showed up at the right time, and the best part was I could take the bindings off of that ski and put them on here and use the same skins. So the only thing I needed to buy was the actual ski, which was pretty sick. I got this on a Dynafit Speed Radical, I believe. If I got that wrong, I'll put it in the bottom. But yeah, so this is the second pair of skis that this binding's had. This is a good workhorse, solid, durable binding, and it will last multiple pairs of skis. It's just a great midwinter type ski. 107 is a perfect length for any sort of winter time. It's about a 1,600 gram ski. So most of the time I ski them with my heaviest touring boot, which is the Radical Pro right here. And this plus this ski, this is a 14-ish 100 gram boot, 1,600 gram ski. It works really well. One thing that I may try out this winter is plugging in the Ridge boot into this ski and seeing how that feels. I didn't have the Ridge until spring last year, so I didn't get to try it out in the winter time with this ski. One thing for sure, this ski is definitely more demanding than the other ones, so you kind of have to push yourself a little bit more, and it is a little bit, it's not as turny as other skis, especially at that 181 length. It's pretty long, so it does take a little bit of getting used to, but once you kind of like get the feel of it, it becomes a really fun ski. It's just a good standard directional type ski, and I really like it. So since I found that at Sports Hub for really cheap, I was in Sports Hub last spring as well, and I happened to see a different type of free ski. So this is the Dynafit Free 97, and this is in 177 length. It's a good mid-range winter type ski. And depending on how the season goes, this could be my main ski or this could be my main ski, but they're both good winter skis. And this was also like $350 or whatever. So I needed a ski to replace my Wander Alpine from last year. And this will be a great addition to that quiver to just sort of like connect the two slots of like a slightly thinner ski for more icy or chewed up days. And this is constructed exactly the same as the Free 107. So I already know how it's going to ski. I have not skied a single day on this yet, but I did just get them mounted with my new favorite binding, the Dynafit 7 Summit Plus, since it has the brake. Essentially, this ski is like good to go. It could even cross into the world of mountaineering too, depending on what I want to do with it. The primary boot I'm going to use with the Free 97 is the Ridge Pro. Another thing that's really cool about both of these boots here, the Radical and the Ridge here, is they're the same boot sole length. So the Radical Pro in 26.5 is a 297 BSL, and this Ridge in 27 size is 297. So I can literally just grab the boot, whichever boot, and clip them into a number of these skis. All four of these skis can use the same two boots without me adjusting any of the heel pieces, which is pretty sick. So yeah, those are my two main winter skis. And then let's move into the powder ski. This one I wasn't sure if I was going to get yet, but at Tahoe Sports Hub, found like a good price for it, and I happened to already have a pair of bindings for it, so I went ahead and picked up this ski. Actually, the same skins on my old powder ski will fit on these too, so again, I only had to buy the ski. Thinking about maybe going with the Armada White Walker 121, because that seemed like a really cool, fun ski, a bit more slarvy, a bit more twin tip, so I could, have a bit more fun. But then I kind of saw this Ben Shetler in Sports Hub, and it would kind of save me a bit of money, with shipping and everything. So I went ahead and I picked it up. It's still a 120 powder ski, and I stuck the Dynafit 7 Summits, not Plus, because there's no brake right there. So the 7 Summits is on this ski. And I also had it mounted a little bit back from recommended on -2. So recommended is about 3 millimeters back from true center, and I bumped it 2 more. So it's about 5 millimeters back from true center. It's a bit more of a directional type ski, but still has that fun, slarving, easy turning motion. And in powder, it's really all about just having fun. And at 1,800 grams too per ski, I should be able to ski it with my Radical Pro boot very easily, especially with the ease. It's easier to turn with, you know, the easy release on the tip and tail. I would like to see how it does with the Ridge Pro. I would not be surprised if I could ski this ski really well with a Ridge Pro. We'll see how that is. I can keep you guys updated when I actually get on this thing on some snow. I just got these back from Sports Hub today. They mounted them up for me. And I think that's going to complete my ski quiver for the next few years, maybe. Maybe the next, I'll make another video in 2 years from now and have like a different setup going on right here. But I mean, some of these skis, like this one's 5 years old now. When I buy a pair of backcountry skis, I would like them to last at least 3 years. Same with a pair of ski boots. I prefer that to last at least 3 years. And then stuff like those more specific inbound skis, more specific backcountry skis, you can get more like 5 years or something out of them. It just depends on how much you use them. If you have one pair of skis and you ski 100 days a year, then it's going to last you like 2 years max. If you switch around with different skis, which is the point of a quiver anyway, they can last you much longer. For sure, this Ben Shetler right here, since I'm only going to use it in powder, and even if we have a huge year where I'm skiing these like 60 days, then I still think I'm going to get a lot of years out of a fat pair of powder skis, just because the powder doesn't really abuse the skis. Whereas something like these Helio 95s, you know, if I get 3 years out of them, I'm a pretty happy boy, and I can probably get more out of the bindings, so I can take the bindings off, throw the ski away, and then just stick them on a new ski. So it's all about kind of saving wear on the equipment while still choosing the right tool for the job. I feel like I do a wide variety of different types of skiing and in different environments, so all this stuff is kind of added up over time. So I think that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, guys. Go ahead, leave comments if you want on my quiver and tear me apart. Say that I'm totally wasting all my money on stuff. It's all about having fun in the mountains. And if you have any thoughts or additions or questions about any of these skis or skis I've had in the past, then leave a comment and I'll see you in the next one.
That's a nice bit.
Yeah, that's the real deal right there.